Good morning, it's Friday, December 2nd, and thanks for tuning in to Sara's Opening Bell. We're almost through the end of the fall semester, and unfortunately, that also means that stock market game students are nearing the end of their respective fall game sessions. But don't get too comfortable yet. There's still a lot to learn, and this is still the place where I break it all down in simple, easy to understand steps. So since the end of the game session is nearing to a close, it's the perfect time to bring you our stock market game tradition of highlighting the top stocks that have experienced significant growth. Well, at least the top stocks within the SMG universe. But before we jump into the top picks from SMG investors across the country, let's discuss some of the ways you can evaluate a stock's performance. Because I'm sure many of you are likely evaluating your own investment choices in the hopes of securing a top performing portfolio. So let me help you out a bit. 1. Benchmarks, targets, standards, whatever you want to call it, determine how you'll measure your stock's performance. So investors use benchmarks to measure the performance of stocks, mutual funds, exchange-traded funds, ETFs, or other investment instruments. Benchmarks are important because let's say you have a stock that generated an 8% return during the game session. Pretty impressive, huh? But what if the rest of the market is returning 10 or even 12%? So taking the time to compare a stock's performance with different market indices, such as the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, or the NASDAQ Composite, can act as a benchmark to compare your own investment's performance. 2. Look at competitors within the same industry. Why? Because it's possible for a stock to be outperforming the market, but underperforming in its own industry. So make sure you consider the stock's performance in relation to its main competitors and companies of similar size in its own industry. 3. Consider total returns over the right period of time. Look at how the stock has done year to date, as well as over the past 52 weeks. So consider the stock's average annual return, the 5-year average annual return, but also look at the 10-year average annual return, especially for our younger investors who are considering a longer-term investment. Now, at the end of the day, there are many factors that can influence stock performance, from investor and consumer confidence, government policies, interest rate changes, technology, the climate, inflation, and changes in supply and demand. And they're all worth considering when you're evaluating your stock's performance and whether that initial investment that you made is truly worthwhile. So now, without further ado, let's close out with a sneak peek at some of the best performing stock market game companies this semester. So this list was compiled based on stock market game active portfolios and stocks that have experienced the most growth against the S&P 500 within a game session. Coming in at number 5, we have Avis Budget Group, the American parent company of Avis Car Rental, Budget Truck Rental, and Zipcar. Next up, we have Moderna, the Cambridge-based pharmaceutical company focused on RNA therapeutics and primarily Myrna vaccines. Oceaneering Inc. is coming in at number 3, which is a global provider of engineered services and products primarily to the offshore energy industry. It also serves the defense, aerospace, entertainment, and mobile robotics industries. And coming in at number 2 is Zymeworks, a biotech company that develops protein therapeutics for the treatment of cancer and other autoimmune and inflammatory diseases. And taking the top spot among our stock market game investors with the growth of 99% from its starting price of $3.74 on September 6th is Tango Therapeutics. Tango is a biotech company that focuses on discovering and developing medicines targeting cancer to deliver transformational new therapies for patients. And that's all, folks. Log into those portfolios and let's see how your assets are performing, and let's see how you can evaluate the stocks that you've chosen, because markets are now open.